Welcome back, everyone. We are here at MLP Daytona Beach for the second event. We're actually at Pickleball at Holly Hill. This is an awesome venue, awesome environment. If you haven't been to MLP, definitely need to make your way out here. The energy is crazy. I am joined in the booth for our next matchup with none other than Lee Waters.
Woo woo.
Thanks for being here
Thanks
right now.
for having me. I'm so excited.
Listen, sometimes you have to be your own hype person, so it's perfectly fine
right?
to do
I'm
the
used
whoop
to
whoop.
it. That's why I did it, because I'm clearly used to it.
And I'm sure everyone knows, but mother to the #1 player in the world.
Yes.
Also a coach here for
the Fives.
MLP, for the Fives, a GM.
I'm starting coaching tomorrow. Our first match is at 9, so I'm excited.
Awesome stuff. So we're going to get some good strategy from you here for this matchup. We've got the Orlando Squeeze taking on Arizona Drive. First, we'll start with the Orlando Squeeze. We've got Callan Dawson, Todd, Bobbi Oshiro, and Rachel Rettger. Anything stand out to you about the Orlando Squeeze?
I mean, I said it when I first sat down. This is a solid team. I mean, you don't really have a weak link. Everyone on this team, I would say the two ladies especially in this past year have made huge strides with their games. I think they're going to be a really hard women's team to beat. I don't know that much about Todd, but I know he's got quick hands. I've played him in mixed, and of course Callan, the lob doctor, right?
The lob doctor out here again.
He's so tricky.
He is a veteran in this game. You're right. I think they've got a greatly constructed team. We've got a different story on the other side in terms of newcomers into the sport. So on the men's side, we've got Pesa Teoni, who is actually filling in for Andreas Siljestrom, who is out with an injury for this particular event.
Yeah, the big man has a back injury, so we're told.
Oh, he has a back injury.
Yeah.
You know what? There's sometimes a detriment to being that tall.
Especially in pickleball because you're bending all the time, so I can see how that might have happened. Unfortunate for him. We'll miss him. But, yes, Pesa's in.
Pace is in. We'll talk about him a little bit more later on. We're going to get going here. We've got Sarah Ansboury, who is a veteran and a legend in this game.
Absolutely.
Partnering with Heather Nobler, who this is her first MLP event.
Yes.
I'm excited to see how she plays here.
Yeah, me too. She's also from our area around Delray Beach, Boca Raton. College tennis player, played at Oklahoma, has a lot of skills. She's super consistent. I watched her play her first match, so I'm eager to see how, later in the day, how she's playing, get some of those nerves out.
Yeah, let's get things started.
Sarah was bringing a lot of fire. It was fun this morning. Like, I'm not used to seeing Sarah Ansboury be so like, come on, let's go. She might have even done a finger wag or something after the match. I was like, Sarah. She's like, this is MLP, baby.
That MLP energy bug permeates through all these players.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a great ball there by Oshiro. You talked about earlier, Bobbi Oshiro has one of the most solid games on the female side. And right there, she kind of baited that ball to the middle and finished.
Yeah, Bobbi's also from our area, so I have a feeling Heather and Bobbi probably know each other's games pretty well. And they're straight across from each other, so we'll see. We'll see if we have any speed ups or hands battles between the two of them.
Certainly a happening area on the pickleball scene.
Yeah.
Wherever the waters are at. And I'm not talking about the beach either.
I think Bobbi's always been super steady, but I think she's gotten a little bit more aggressive also this year, which I think has helped to elevate her game.
Yeah, interesting balance of aggression versus patience in this format here. As you see the missed dink there, Heather Nobler with a nice cross-court wide one. Rettger just let that ball get away from her.
Yeah, and we were talking earlier, there is some wind, so the ball moving at just, the last second. Nice drive.
Yeah, and right on cue, you can see it there as our papers fly, but also as Nobler hits a nice medium-speed drive.
Yep.
And it kind of moves a little bit in the wind away from Rettger's paddle. Yeah, and that's an interesting point where you talk about tennis players coming into the sport, where they look to take some of those low balls a little bit early.
Yeah, there's definitely more balls, you know, coming Heather's way. And I think it's like you said, like Sarah is such a veteran out there. She's going to be super steady. They're probably a little afraid of Sarah's speed up too. She's been speeding it up a lot more recently.
Oh,
what a pretty shot.
Great ball by Oshiro. As that ball lands in, just enough topspin on it. Takes a lot of confidence to hit that type of shot directly at your opponent, knowing that it could come back at you pretty quick.
She really hit a nice spot, though. It was sort of like inside out little spinner.
Yeah, and there, to your point earlier, they are targeting Nobler here to start. Yeah. They want to see if she's kind of built for this environment right here. Can't blame them.
Yeah, I mean, MLP, I think, is, I don't know, maybe the most intense event in pickleball. I think you feel the most nerves. And so somebody new to the game, I mean, I can only imagine the pressure that they're probably feeling right now.
Yeah, I can imagine it. You're right? Typically in a tournament, you've got yourself, your partner, and then your corner that's out there and the fans. But this one, you've also got your team.
And your owner that drafted you.
And your GM.
And you're playing for a lot of money. So, yeah, there's a lot going on. That's what makes MLP so fun, though.
Yeah, it's a little overcooked there by Rettger. She tries to get the ball down, probably because of the pressure of Ansboury. She's typically returning everything so far. That ball just a little bit wide there. As we've got, as you can see here on the replay, just cooked it a little left. 7-7 game here.
Rare miss from Bobbi.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't see that often.
No.
I may go grab a lottery ticket today if that's the case. Now,
Tight match, though, 8-7.
Yeah.
It's kind of the second time we've seen Heather take that low ball and speed up. First one she missed. That one she had to bring it a little bit high. So, yeah, maybe try to reset those lower balls as she's moving forward. Oh.
And Rettger saw blood in the water and ends up spraying that overhead a little bit long. We can, Sarah Ansboury's asking if they want to challenge that call.
Oh,
hey, they're free. The banter is hilarious here.
Yes.
Great recovery there.
Best point of the match so far.
Wow.
Oh, what a point.
What a point. I love the speed ups all around and the control and pace at which they were hit with. Nobler comes out on top.
Yeah, I would like to see, because, you know, they're really targeting Rachel and Bobbi's not seeing that many balls. So I'd really like to see Bobbi take some of those dinks off Rettger's left foot there. Just interject herself a little bit more. Try to put some pressure and get herself into this match a little bit more.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Having her slide over to the right to take some and be a little bit more aggressive here in this matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. They clearly don't want her to be involved, so she's got to figure out a way to interject herself. Like, that was a good step in right there.
That ball's good. Oh, and Oshiro.
She set it up so well, too.
I mean, it was such a great point all around. To your point, Oshiro was taking more balls on that right side.
making things happen, setting things up. I hope she keeps doing that, you know, once they switch sides.
Yeah, I want to kind of talk about something here. We've got Sarah Ansboury on the other side, who is a legend in the game, has been playing at the pro level for many years. Lee Waters, you yourself have been playing pickleball at a high level for many years as well. Talk to us about what it takes to stay relevant for that long in this type of game.
It's hard, man, especially when you're getting older and everybody else seems to be getting younger. I know for me what made the difference was I actually started playing a little bit less, and I started getting in the gym a little bit more, because as we get older, our hand speed goes down. You know, our endurance isn't so great. So I really started working on strength and conditioning. I know for Sarah, she told me she started teaching it a little bit less and started focusing more on the training aspect, both on and off the court. You know, it used to be like, you could just play a little and still be relevant, and you know, but now the talent is just so great, and there's new, more athletic people coming in every day. So you really got to take it serious.
Wise words from another legend herself.
Yep, that's what I was talking about right there.
It's a great ball.
Oh, got her.
And Ansboury just put that ball in the right position, caught her leaning forehand.
So the flip side is when Bobbi does come over to take that ball, she has to do something with it. Doesn't mean she's got to hit a winner, but she kind of hit like a dead dink, and it set up Sarah to attack her.
Oshiro getting very active here.
And that's exactly what needs to happen. So somebody got in her ear. I don't know who it was, or maybe she figured it out herself. But it's a good correction by that team.
Yeah, great adjustment. Big ball there by Nobler. I think she likes seeing that one be that high.
Yeah, nice attack. Right into the body, cross court.
Great defense by the drive. Oh, and right now they are really putting a lot of pressure on Rettger. I think the flip side of it, too, you talk about Oshiro taking a lot of balls. That does kind of isolate your partner, right? And gets them a little bit cold.
True.
Great pressure.
So we're 14-11, Arizona.
Oh, good serve by Oshiro. And Rettger tries to squeeze the drive down the line, and it just does not work out for them there.
Yeah, that was just a little too high risk there.
Yeah, I think this is danger zone here for the squeeze. It's 15-11 Arizona drive. They desperately need things like that to go their way. They don't want this to be a 5-6 point lead.
Yeah, you don't need to give away too many free points, especially on the third. Let's not give away thirds. We've had 2 in a row there.
That one just gets over.
Oh, tough luck. I like the move. I like the look. Great hands by Sarah.
Yeah, you've got to go out and take these matchups, right? You got to be aggressive, and I think Oshiro's trying to do that here. We'll see if Rettger can dial it in and pick up the intensity as well.
Right on the back of the line.
Nobler struggling a little bit on those resets there.
She is.
That was a great slice return.
Yeah, I was going to say back-on-back points, the deep returns have really set up the win for the point.
Yeah, and in this format, I mean, to your point on thirds and fifths, getting them over is better than making sure they're good.
Yeah, no, it's so true. When every point counts. All right, we have a first timeout here.
Yeah, I think this is a timely one here for Orlando Squeezes. They're down 5. It's 18-13. I want to go back to a previous point you mentioned about longevity and staying in the gym and making sure that you're always getting better at your game. Yeah, what we've seen is that if you take days off, I mean, when you talk to any pro player around now, if you take days off, you feel like you're taking 2 steps back, right? With the way the game is evolving,
No,
the shots.
It's true, but at the same time, I mean, the schedule is so intense. If you don't take some time off, you know, you see some players I think are struggling a little with burnout right now. Of course, I'm not going to name names, but I think there are some players struggling with burnout.
Off air,
we'll do that off air when really we're on air. And then, no, you also risk injury. And just sometimes you need your brain to just decompress. And so we're actually, Annalie's going to take the month of April off to do just that.
Do you think we're moving to a point where we need an off season in pickleball dedicated?
I think if they don't give us an off season, everybody needs to create their own.
All right, we're back. 18-13 Arizona Drive, looking to close this out. Great defense by Rettger.
It was.
I have to say, I'm impressed with how Nobler is playing overall. I mean, there's some, I would say, some strategy errors from tennis that she's bringing over, but she's really, like, playing a clean game outside of that.
And I'll say from their first match this morning, I can tell that Sarah and Heather have a lot more chemistry than they did. They seem to be working, you know, better together, more comfortable with each other, which in pickleball, chemistry is, like, so important with your partner. Can, like, make or break a team.
That is so true. We've got our first side change there from Orlando Squeeze. They have flipped it with Oshiro on the right side and Rettger on the left. I think they're trying to get Rettger fired up. They're trying to figure out what they can do to get her active. Game point here for Arizona Drive.
It was just too good.
Yeah.
Too good.
You know, sometimes you hate to see it, but those are those games where for Rettger, I think she's just happy to get out of that.
Yeah.
Right? Let's move on to the next one.
Forget it. Let's move on to mixed.
Right.
Yeah.
We are down 1. So what we'll do is we'll let these players warm up. We will be back in a few minutes with our men's matchup. We've got Wes Burrows, Pesa Teoni against Callan Dawson, the Lob Doctor, and Todd Fott. We'll see you soon. All right, we are back with the men's matchup. We've got Callan Dawson, Todd fought against Wes Burrows and Pesa Teoni.
Oh.
Pesa with the quick speed up there. And
Callan was like, no.
yeah,
Take
Callan,
that somewhere else.
yeah. Callan, think he has seen that before. He peeks over at Lee Waters as if to affirm.
I said a nice thing, though. Yeah.
And 2 early speed ups there by Arizona Drive, as if their game plan is to come in swinging. Might be tough against this type of team.
Yeah. Yeah, as we mentioned before, Pesa stepping in for Andreas. But he does bring that lefty paddle with him, so that always makes the strategy a little difficult for the other side.
Burrows with the attempt down the line, and by my count, that's 3 speed ups now that they have not been able to execute. Yeah. Risky to start this game.
It really is. Yeah, let's see if they can build on that.
2-3, they're still within striking distance. It's early.
Yeah, Wes is an aggressive player by nature, so you look for him to be aggressive, but Callan doesn't give you much. I mean, he keeps his dink so low.
Yeah, you can see it here.
I mean, you can't really speed up off of these dinks, which is right. Well, okay.
Oh, we got
Okay. Oh, it was in.
That ball just in as Burrows goes with. Is that what that's what it's called? The pretzel?
That's the pretzel.
I like the term.
Yeah.
He hits the pretzel on Todd Fott, and it works out in his favor.
You don't see many people do a pretzel. It's not easy.
There's the shallow dinks you mentioned.
Yeah, it's not there.
And Burrows has to be careful there, right? He's got to be able to commit to going all day on that one because they're too shallow to speed up.
Yeah, and even if he gets it over, it's going to be high right into the wheelhouse of Fott. I wouldn't mind him actually taking a couple of those dinks just down the line just to see what Fott does. Right now, the dink game is making the drive very uncomfortable.
Yeah, they've got to squeeze to have a quick 6-3 lead. And there's Dawson with his second failed Ernie attempt there. I think he's making the right decision initially, just has to bail out of it when it's not there, which is tough to do, right?
Yeah, when you're in motion like that.
Great setup ball by Dawson, and Fott does the rest. What a reset by Teoni.
Ooh.
And then an uncharacteristic miss.
That might give him some momentum. That was a good point. They got out of it.
A battle of offense against defense here right now. Yeah, I think Burrows is, he's not trying to hide the fact that he wants to attack these balls.
No, at least that one he kept it low and he got Fott. Pretty good spot.
Is that kind of like a rhyme now?
Fott, pretty good spot. Yeah. I'm thinking if I rhyme, it makes it more fun for those listening.
But I want to see how long you can go now. I'm kind of curious. Just over.
That was pretty.
Wow, what a ball by Todd Fott as he held down the line.
He held it so hard, and that was the thing. Wes had no idea where he was going with that ball.
And even,
I didn't know either.
Well, and even harder is he's got a left-hand guy with his forehand in the middle.
Yep. Ooh.
Yeah, and I think Teoni on that ball, he's a little disappointed that that got through, being that that is his forehand side, and now he's trying to overcompensate on this
Agreed.
one. Got to settle it in this environment here.
Agreed.
I like the backhand flicks there by Teoni to put pressure, but
I do, but I feel like both guys are like speeding up when they get panicked, which is the absolute kind of worst time to speed up.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And what it's telling me right now, you talked about chemistry. This is their second time playing together. I think they're trying to figure out what is their overall strategy.
Totally. Great drive.
Yeah. I mean, at this high of a level, the last thing you want to do is go out and just try to see whatever works, right?
Yeah. Give away a bunch of free points, especially in rally scoring. It can get away from you.
It can get away from you. Not only do you have to have a plan of attack against your opponent, but you have to have a plan with your actual partner on what makes sense, what balls you want to speed up, those type of things, so that your partner can anticipate what's happening.
Yeah, and they definitely have the disadvantage being a new team, and Dawson and Fott having played an entire MLP together, you know, previously in Mesa, so.
Look, they've got a great coach over there in Morgan Evans, who is no stranger to strategy.
No.
If you've taken one of his lessons or watched his course. So hopefully he'll get them on board and kind of talk about what makes sense for them to get back in this game. I
really feel like if they just settle in and at this point, let's just try to make a lot of balls. Let's just maybe not so many speed ups. I mean, I know I'm one to talk, you know. I don't want to sit there and dink either, but put a little pressure on the other team. There just isn't much pressure right now.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Sometimes you don't want to just stand in there and dink 40, 50 times over and over, but in this case, you may have to until you get your rhythm, until you get settled. And
at least if you move the ball around, make some dinks, it sets up that speed up instead of just, you know, pulling the speed up out of nowhere.
Let's see if they made some changes. It is 11-8 Orlando squeeze. That ball just wide there is calculated speed up by Dawson.
Yeah, Callan stays right on that kitchen line. He's not moving, so that was really good. He reached in and took that early.
Oh, there's the lob.
I was just going to say.
And Pesa gets it. Wow.
I was just going to say, I can't believe we haven't seen a lob, and there it was.
I mean, that lob barely got over Teoni, who is an incredible athlete in his own right.
Oh, yeah.
They get back into the point, but not able to convert.
Callan's funny. He's like a ninja out there with all of his moves. Like, look at him right there.
Right on cue, he gave you a ninja move.
This happened to me earlier today. I think the players know what I'm saying.
Yeah, they all have earpieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say dangerous spot there for Arizona Drive as they're down a few points. But I also think for Orlando Squeeze, play the game you've been playing before. That one by Todd Fott may be a little ill-advised.
Ooh, I like it, though. Pesa was being pretty steady. I felt like Wes read the speed up, but got him in a good spot, kind of high.
Kind of high. That ball possibly out? What do you think?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Tough.
Kind of against the wind-ish, I think. I don't know. What a pickup.
Great defense. And those are the ones that are just a little bit tough. Burrows calls a timeout as he tries to get some more confidence for his partner here to come back. They're down 15-9. The good side of things is the women won their matchup, right? So the Arizona Drive are up 1-0. This is, while you do want to win this game, maybe not considered a must-win at this point.
Correct. It's not a deal breaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like if they would make some of their shot selection, maybe just choose some higher percentage options.
Maybe
lower risk balls.
Yeah, maybe take a quick 30-second timeout for yourself and go give them some strategy from a premier level fives
I have
coach.
A feeling, hey, they've got two great coaches here, and Mr. Morgan Evans and Sarah Ansboury over here. So I'm sure they're getting good coaching. It's just a matter of, putting it all together when they come back on the court.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, it's easy to look at things from our side,
so
right,
easy.
as a commentator.
It's the easiest.
When you're in the game, when you're playing, it's different, right? And so
different. You don't see it as well. You don't see the strategy as well, and you've got the emotions, the pressure. That's just so good.
Wow.
That's
what a
just
lob
so good.
and what a get again by Teoni. I mean, I think most people would stop lobbing Pesa after some of the gets he's gotten, but Callan Dawson is ready for the rebuttal.
He really is. That was a great ball by Burrows.
Great ball. As you had Dawson leaning in here.
All right, this is where the drive really needs to make their move. 10-17. I like it.
Yeah, and that's almost that's early on in the point, but it's to your earlier point before of like if they just wait for the appropriate balls and then use their speed ups, they're going to be in a good spot.
Pretty 1-2.
That was a great
See,
ball.
on that speed up, he really took some of the pace off the ball and kept it low. So he was really able to get in that left hip. Todd fought, set up that put away. I really like that speed up a lot.
Yeah, nice 3-point stretch here, as it is now 13-17.
Way to get in. Ah! That's the one he's done it twice. He's trying to hit this tiny little corner where the net's high. Just take that back in the middle.
That one is tough. And
it's a tough one.
There's really no threat from a backhand roll from Dawson.
Yeah.
So if it is a little bit high, you're okay, right?
Yeah.
They've got to settle it in quickly here as it's 18-13.
It's getting
19-13.
Getting away. That was a smart speed up. Fought's been really successful going across West Burrows' body, and that's exactly what West did back to him. It's really hard to counter when it's coming across your body like that.
Yeah, missed block there by Dawson. That ball might have been flying long.
We'll never know.
We'll never know. No need to think about it.
Oh, nice.
Great ball.
Yeah.
There's that speed up there. And
yeah, it was just a bad spot. He just picked the wheelhouse of Todd Fought.
Yeah,
right
not
there.
a lot of open spots to go to there, but I do like Burrows speeding up from his side and then playing the counter into Teoni's hands. What a get. Oh. The first one was crazy.
Game
Second
point
one was
saved.
asking for a lot.
16-20. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say this
Tried
is
the pretzel again.
Yeah, Dawson was willing to stay there all night. If he had to be there till 9 p.m. doing those same backhand dinks, he's fine.
That's the thing. I'd rather see Wes move the dink around between Callan's forehand and backhand than go to the same spot. Because Callan can, let's face it, he can dink all day long if he wants to. But if we can start moving him, maybe he'll get a higher dink that he could attack, rather than going for a low percentage pretzel.
Yep, absolutely. Moot point now as this one is over. Arizona drive fall to Orlando squeeze here. As you see on the replay, that ball just out, 21-16. So we are tied up now.
Squeeze just played so solid.
They did.
They took advantage that they're, team that's played together. And now we have the mixed doubles.
I mean, hey, we're not shocked. We've got mix coming up. Rachel Rettger is getting warm. We'll be back in about 4 or 5 minutes with this next matchup. Talk to you soon. All right, we're back. MLP Daytona Beach here at Picktone at Holly Hill. We have a mixed doubles matchup happening now. This is between Arizona Drive and Orlando Squeeze, who are right now knotted up 1-1. Again, I've got Lee Waters in the booth with me. We've got Callan Dawson, Bobbi Oshiro taking on Pesa Teoni and the legend, Sarah Ansboury. What do you expect from this?
Yeah, this is going to be a tough match. I mean, mainly because here we go again with Sarah and Pesa not having much experience playing together. Callan and Bobbi probably played a lot in the last MLP, and they're both just so steady. Yeah, I think we're really going to need Pace to really shift over into that middle. Try to get himself involved and put some pressure on Bobbi. We'll see if he can make that happen.
Maybe just cause some chaos, huh?
Just, yeah, honestly. Get some energy flowing. Yeah, I mean, even if Pace did something like that and missed the ball, it's putting pressure on them, and they know he's capable of making that ball at a later point.
Yeah, he's an extreme athlete.
Yeah, he's fast.
If you've ever seen any social media content on what he's able to do, so you're right. Yeah, if he's got to put him, Arizona Drive have to put him in a position where he's able to utilize those strengths, be everywhere.
Uh-huh. Take advantage of that forehand being in the middle.
Yeah, and I was going to say for Orlando Squeeze, I think that is where the opening's going to be, anywhere on that backside of Teoni, as he is going to be leaning over to his left.
Ooh.
A high one, that one stays in.
Oh.
Teoni went over to help out Sarah, or to maybe tell her it was high, just to let her, hey, just letting you know this ball's high.
See a little bit of confusion in the middle there. New partnership. Sarah does like to, on the left, kind of step over and hit a lot of forehand, so that would allow Pessa to come over. Yeah, just like that. I wouldn't mind her even stepping over and hitting more forehands.
Great point here. That ball's in. Yeah, I think for the drive, they've got to figure out who's going to take more balls, right? Who's going to be the aggressor? Are we both going to do it? Is one going to do it? Got to figure it out quick here.
Callan, so tricky. And I think for them, they're playing super smart. They're speeding up the ball first. They're getting in the hands battles. They're putting all the pressure. And I think they've won every point they've sped up the ball so far.
Great ball.
Yeah.
Oh, Dawson almost does it again.
I love Sarah coming over and getting in that Ernie position because it just really opens the court for Pessa. Plus, it puts a little bit of confusion in the minds of Oshiro and Dawson. I like it.
Yeah, that's a ball that he wants again.
Yeah.
I think he was a little shocked that it was as high as it was. Yeah. 7-3 lead here. Wow, I like that.
If I'm the drive, I take a timeout here.
Yeah, last thing you want to do is get into the changeover at 11-3 or 11-4.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little. Oh, oh,
she almost did. Yeah, I thought she did.
Timeout here, but she didn't.
Teoni getting a little more aggressive there. So not calling the timeout worked for one moment. But we'll see if they change any of their strategy. Great reset.
Yeah.
You mentioned it.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying you mentioned it. You mentioned it how, the squeeze, they're going to speed up the ball and they're comfortable doing it first because they like their hands.
Yeah, for sure. And that was the situation where if Sarah was looking to take more forehands, that would have been a forehand high rather than the one-handed backhand, and she might have been able to do a little bit more with it. So I'd like to see her slide even just a little bit more.
You're right. She's got the opportunity to do it with the left-hand player on her other side. Oh, that ball just gets over.
Like that, I want to be a forehand. Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. Make it simple. Let's just do all forehands from this side, and then let's just play all forehands.
It's
you, Teoni, and me
honestly,
as well.
it's a much easier dink.
Add some deception in there as well, right?
Exactly.
There's the lob.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's just so
There's a reason he
timely.
has the name, right? So
I mean,
smart.
that ball's going to be in. It's going to be deep. The Squeeze are playing very well right now, especially after their men's win that they just had. It looks like they threw out their A team as far as mixed, right? They got Dawson, they got Oshiro.
Super solid.
They want to make sure they get this one and take a 2-1 lead here. Be interesting to see what changes they make. I think you mentioned it. We'd like to see Teoni with the forehand lean as much as he can to his left side and really utilize that forehand. Then also, you mentioned you want to see Ansboury take those dinks with a small real estate on that right side with her, or on the left side with her forehand as well.
Yeah, and you know, she went to the Ernie position one time and they won the point. Let's do that a few more times. You know, let's get, even if you don't hit the Ernie, let's get in that position, open up the court. I mean, like you said, let's cause some chaos. Because especially right now they need something. They're down 11-5. Let's create some chaos. It might not work, but what do you have to lose, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, listen, when you're talking strategy, a question I have is when you do change your strategy, at what point do you know if it's not working? Is it a couple rallies?
So
is
when
it two?
Yeah, exactly. So when you change a strategy, you can't just give it 1 point and be like, that didn't work, let's go back. Because the other way you played it for how many, 16 points. So
Absolutely.
you got to give it more than 1 or 2 points.
And Lee, look now, we've got a switch. We've got Teoni on the left side and Ansboury on the right side here.
Interesting. Backhands in the middle. I like it. It's a new look. They can always switch back. Let's give them this look.
Yeah, and to your point, each way, don't overreact. That was a great point. You ended up getting the win.
Yep.
Let's not overreact here. Let's see what happens on this one.
Oh, nice grab.
Great defense.
Yeah, just a little too much.
Yeah, and I was going to mention the edges now for Teoni are probably places you don't want to go. That's his forehand. Then they put the last one in the middle. It's his backhand. So kind of a role reversal here.
I like the fake. So what I don't like about the switch is I think it's going to be harder for Pesa to interject himself with that backhand. I don't think he's going to be as comfortable coming over there and being aggressive. I would have rather seen the change be, like we talked about, Sarah hitting some more forehands, getting in that Ernie position, Pesa causing some chaos in the middle. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
They are winning some points this way, so.
They are. You don't want to be in a position where things are just happening to you, right? You're happening to lose a point. You're happening to win a point. You want to be one where you're creating things.
Correct.
And even though you see that ball fly there from Ansboury, I like the fact that she's trying to create something and make things happen. We know in the pro pickleball scene, the moment you let the other team get on top, you're in trouble. It's a great play. I think Callan Dawson stepped on this court here today and said, I'm the best player and I'm going to play like it.
And I'm going to prove it. Absolutely. All right, here's the switch. Oh, jeez.
Oh, and they switched back. Teoni with the speed there.
I'd probably call a timeout and just go back to the switch, just because on timeouts, the rules of MLP is you can switch sides. So instead of unwinding, I'd rather see him just call the timeout and make the switch.
Yeah, and there's got to be something to be said about, when your opponent sees you mixing up your strategy 3 and 4 times as you're losing, they're starting to feel more confident, right?
I'm correct that they haven't called a timeout yet, right?
They haven't. They've just had the side change, so they are Hopefully they're not trying to take them back home.
There we go.
There's a timeout. All right, they can. We'll have to turn your mic down a little bit. So I think they heard you there, but it makes sense to do one. Look, it's 17-8. You're down a lot. You've switched strategies. I think for Callan and Bobbi, they're looking over like, man, I don't know if they know what they're doing on that side, right? And so how do you, what do you say in the huddle right now to regroup and try to come back here?
Yeah, I think, first of all, what I always say to Annalie is, okay, now's when we breathe and we smile and we remember to have fun. Because when you get down in that deep, dark hole and you feel like you can't get out of it, as we've seen the multiple strategy changes, you kind of feel like this total panic overcome you. Breathe, smile, we're playing pickleball, let's have some fun. Now let's get back to basics. Let's get back on our sides, let's get back to our strategy, let's make a lot of balls, and let's not give this away. So it's amazing if you can just laugh.
Advice.
If you can just laugh on a timeout, even when you're losing, it's amazing what that does for the brain, and it's a proven fact. Smile, breathe.
Yeah. I mean, that's such good advice. We tend to, especially being in down environments, to make it seem worse than it actually is, right?
I mean, nobody wants to lose.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
we're playing pickleball.
You know, it's 17-8. It's rally scoring. You can always come back.
I mean, heck, with the freeze, nothing is ever set in stone in MLP.
You come out of the timeout. You got a side out. You got a point. 9-17. Let's see if they can rally here.
I want to see a comeback.
Yeah, those are always fun, right? That ball
I think it was just wide. Yeah, I think it was.
I think it was just wide.
They do have 2 challenges, right, I believe?
2 free challenges. We've got 4 total here right now in this game, not used.
I do believe that ball was wide. Yep. Yep, they're getting some free points.
Yeah, and I think Oshiro thinking about that last one and now wanting to make something happen. She's been steady all game, has to stay that way.
Absolutely. 9-17. Still a lot of work to be done here.
2 points fresh out of the timeout. 3 points, apologize. 11-18 here.
Oh, that's too good.
That's a great ball right there.
It's too good. Great ball from Sarah.
Yeah, if you go to saraansbury.com and you type in lessons, you're going to see that right there on the bottom.
That was really
a great
smart.
play.
Callan left super early. She saw it, went right behind him. But I like it from Callan. He's putting a lot of pressure on them.
Great defense by Callan. That's such a high-level ball right there. The one-hand backhand roll, which a lot of ladies are starting to work on nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, honestly, I think all these new paddles are really helping with that. You know, providing a lot of spin with little effort. Yeah, because not many ladies have one-hander flicks, but
it's a different game than it was 3-4 years ago.
For sure,
even
no
1
doubt.
year ago.
No doubt. Good speed up.
Yeah, if we talk paddles, all these players here are using a paddle that has come out in the last, 6-8 months, aside from Oshiro, which hers came out about maybe a year ago.
Yep.
Speaks to the changes in technology.
Absolutely. I like Sarah doing that. Yes. Yeah, see, that just opened up the court. Now they look to go to Pesa. So that was really smart by Sarah.
So true. That is the play you were talking about, and they executed well. Let's see if they have enough time to come back here. 14-20. That ball just in.
Just.
Oshiro looking kind of to the sideline, was hoping nobody was going to raise the finger. The index finger, that is.
Yeah, right? Good take. I like how Pesa stepped over and took that ball off of Sarah. That was very smart. I want to see him do more of that.
Yeah, it seemed that one play that he had a couple points ago is now raising his confidence to come over and take more balls. You can see it there as he takes that third.
Oh, got it.
That ball's in, and he lets out a yell.
Yeah, I like the fire.
They're not done yet.
No. How many times do we see this, though, when a team reaches the freeze and the other team creeps back in?
16-20. Oh, that serve just in. And that one's in as well. Don't look now, but the Arizona Drive are on their way.
I mean,
17-20.
yeah, if I'm the squeeze, I take a timeout. I mean, they still have a nice 4-point lead, or 3-point lead. It's only a 3-point lead. Yeah, they should have taken a timeout.
I wouldn't want to see them get to 18 before I take a timeout, and that's happened now. Both frozen.
And they're still not taking a timeout. Huh.
Yeah, that's one that you got to have over.
He wants that back. He's going to want that back. All right.
Got a chance to make amends here. 2018.
Yep.
Oh, and Oshiro saw the finish line.
Yeah. But there, Sarah took the step over. Pesa gets big in the middle.
Yeah, and there's a reason why that ball was shallow and hit the net. She wanted to have it small. Didn't want it too high with that forehand looming.
Nice.
That ball just over.
Oh, what a...
Wow. Hands everywhere on that point.
Great
point all around it.
Yeah.
You talked about it, though. That's where you got Ansboury using her backhand on that left side.
Yep.
You'd rather see the forehand.
Yep.
And Oshiro with a miss here. Side out scoring, that doesn't hurt you as much. And rally scoring, it matters here. 18-20.
Shows you the pressures, though. Great drop.
Great defense. And that ball just long. And we've got
the lob doctor.
We've got a 1-point game here. 19-20. Arizona Drive.
Yeah, all the momentum now.
Can they steal this game?
It happens in MLP.
Yeah, I think Callan said that's enough going to Teone back there. I think I'm done with that.
Yeah, Callan did a good job of keeping all those deep and right at Sarah's feet.
It feels like they have to do it here, Lee. 2019.
I'm so nervous.
And Oshiro with the Ernie to end it. What a way in style.
That was so smart.
Such a great play. I like the fight by Arizona Drive there to come back in that game. I think it's going to bode well for this next mixed matchup that they have. But to Orlando Squeeze, to stay focused and mental fortitude there, it's awesome. And
I think, too, it'll give, with Pesa and Sarah being a new team, it's going to give them confidence going into their next match of, you know, okay, we got this. We came back and almost beat a super solid team of Oshiro and Dawson, and I think that'll be good for them. It's really tough coming in this environment having never played a match together before. So.
Absolutely. We've got another mixed matchup. Todd fought Rachel Rettger against Wes Burrows and Heather Nobler. We will be back in a few minutes after these players warm up. See you soon.
And we're back now with our second mixed. We got Wes Burrows and Heather Nobler taking on Todd Fott and Rachel Rettger. Ooh, we know the drive needs this point. They got to get to that dream breaker.
Yeah, they need it. They didn't fare well in their last matchup. They're down 2-1. You don't want to go 3-1 because that means you're done in this matchup.
You're done. This is a case where I think Wes being super aggressive will pay off, especially being head-on with Rettger. If I'm him, I look to attack her as much as possible.
Yeah, that's great play there by Fott, but you're right. I think both these ladies here are going to have to deal with the pressure coming from each of the men who love to speed it up.
Yes.
But I think Burrows probably has the advantage of what's in his arsenal and the amount of attacks he can have. And when you couple that with how Rettger left that women's game, not really feeling as confident as she should.
Confident. And it doesn't feel good when you're not confident and you're being attacked.
In life or in pickleball? Because that's
and
both.
Just everything.
That's both.
Good hands.
Yeah, one
Super
thing.
steady.
Yeah, it is steady. I'm seeing with Rettger maybe a foot or two off of the kitchen line. Burrows has to take that opportunity to speed up and see what he can get there.
Yes. Especially like an off speed where it's like kind of dipping. He doesn't really have to crush the speed up.
Yeah, I'm sure you know the bait balls all too well from you and Anna Lee playing side by side, throwing them out there and then reeling the fish in.
Yeah, and I think actually that's one thing Anna Lee's really good at is her speed ups are a lot of times off speed, whereas, you know, I was kind of always like, let's crush it. Nice move.
Beautiful Ernie there by Todd Fott.
Yeah.
Got to add that to his highlight reel. Throw it on social media. It's what we're here for. Great ball.
All right, 6-3. Drive needs to put a stop to it here. Nice little roller. And that's like you said, she was back 2 feet off the kitchen line. Heather dipped it at her feet.
Yeah, sometimes you see lack of confidence as players just missing balls, but a lot of times it depends on their positioning as well. She's standing back because she's not as confident being directly in front of Burrows. There you go. That's the benefit of standing your ground there.
Just some loose errors right now from Heather. See if she can settle in.
Yeah, I like that drop by Fott. That's maybe the second dink there from Rettger, not able to convert. And neither team's really grabbed hold of this game yet. The problem is Orlando Squeeze are up 4.
I know.
They can afford that.
It's been just, honestly, the difference has been just unforced errors on the drive. That's what Wes needs to do.
Great play right there to finish that.
Really, really, unlike in the men's game where I was like, he's pulling the trigger too early. He needs to look to attack Rachel as soon as possible. Like that. That's beautiful.
Yeah, you called it and right on cue. And one thing I'd like to see is in this environment, I'd like to see the benches get more involved vocally right now. It's a little quiet.
Even the players are pretty quiet overall.
Yeah, I'd like to see them get, I think each team's kind of filling it out, you know, trying to make sure they're playing as good as possible.
Maybe they don't want a soccer card.
Maybe they don't want a soccer card. You're right. They don't want to get an orange card.
Blue card's okay.
Which is a technical foul. and loss of a point. What a get by Rettger.
That really was. Yeah, great get.
Yeah, I thought we might have heard a yell if she got the next one back.
Blue card's just a warning, right?
Blue card is a warning.
Okay. Haven't seen a card yet. Have you seen a card yet?
I haven't seen a card at all.
But seriously, maybe that's why some of the energy is a little bit, I mean, especially from like the owners and the captains. Like,
interesting point.
Last MLP, they were so electric on the bench. And now maybe they're a little afraid.
Yeah,
honestly.
now they.
Like, I know I'm going to be a little afraid. Oh, I have to tell you something funny after this point's over.
Great speed up by Burrows. Nobler hit a ball that was probably going out, but I think she wanted to send a message there to
She's
Squeeze.
like, oh, it's okay. I'll just put it away. I got a little lucky.
Oh, and they're back. It's 11-10. Arizona Drive going into the changeover.
Okay, so here's my funny story.
I'm ready to laugh.
Okay, so one of the new rules, as we just talked about, are these cards and how like the coach. So now there's only one coach or one owner that can be on the court. You know, they can't. Last time it was two. Now it's one. The next rule is that coaches now have this invisible line at the kitchen area that you're not allowed to cross. So there's like a coach's box now. So you're not allowed to be past the kitchen line. You're also not allowed to go on the court in between points any longer. So I think it was NML. It was one of them. It's a picture of me on the court, like going like this, and they're talking about the new rules, and all the comments are like, this is no doubt called the Lee Waters rule. No doubt this is the Lee Waters rule. Because let's face it, like, I just felt like if it's part of the rules, by me going out in between and pumping up my team, I had nothing to lose, right?
Nothing. Why
and
not?
Making the other team think a little bit more, right? And it was all part of it. But now that they've taken it away from me, so I saw Brooks yesterday, and I'm like, I was just too much for you, Brooks. You had to go change all the rules.
Overcooked a little bit, so now every coach and GM has to be in the Waters box.
I know. I kind of feel bad. I don't know. I don't think it was just me, honestly. I think there was a lot going on at the last MLP.
Yeah. Overall, I think guardrails in place are awesome. I think they'll probably reevaluate to see if it took away some of the energy and momentum, which makes MLP what it is.
Exactly. Yeah.
12-11, Arizona Drive are up, and remember, they need this game to continue this match. Burrows knows that, and he's trying to put his stamp on this.
I think if Wes can figure out this controlled aggression, where he's able to find Rachel in the majority of these points, they can come out winning this game.
Yeah,
did you see the stare down? She was like,
the stare down from Rettger.
She was like, yeah.
I think the other point to mention, too, is we really haven't seen any of these teams get on a run, a 2, 3, 4-point run to kind of build up that energy and momentum.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had some, I think she was thinking about what her tagline was going to be after she crushed the overhead.
Oh,
ends up missing that one. Listen, they're going to need that. 14-12.
They've tightened it up a little bit. Oh, got lucky again.
I'd like to see a timeout here that's 2 high balls, not put away by Rettger. She knows it.
I'm so with you. A little reset timeout. I don't know why teams aren't using their timeouts very well, or at all.
Yeah, and it doesn't help when it actually works in your favor to not call one. Then the next time you're thinking it's okay.
Yeah, right. And it's amazing timeouts really work. They really cut momentum.
Well, I think people feel that timeout is only for you. A timeout is for you and your team. It's also for the other team to stop momentum. Sometimes it's not about you. It's about what they're doing.
Exactly.
Easier said than done.
I know. It's a good thing about commentating. No pressure. See everything so clearly.
Yeah, it's easy, right? All you need to do is this, and you can be #1 in the world. Then they watch us play. Wait, okay, we're pretty good. Let's just call it. Yeah, great play there.
Yeah, Todd's doing a really good job of cutting off a lot of those balls headed to Rachel.
I think we will see some energy down the stretch of this game. I mean, this is so crucial. It's 15-16. The Squeeze are down 1. Great ball by Rettger. Good pressure by Burrows, and he finishes it.
Smart play by Wes.
He always finishes it and then looks up in the sky. I don't know if there's like
I think they're looking at the scoreboard.
It's the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That makes sense, Lee. That's why you're here. Thank you. Oh, great defense. That ball just out.
All right, where are we at? 17-15, 17-16, Arizona drive.
So many pivotal points in this game, and here's another one.
And this point means so much to both teams.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think that Rachel's pulled the trigger down the line behind Wes yet.
I don't think she has.
So I want to see Wes like so far over.
Great return and a great third by Fott. Nobler. Kind of heard you. She said, I'll try down the line. That one maybe not the best choice there.
Yeah.
And it's now the Squeeze are up 1.
That's it, Wes. Yeah, good timeout. Good
great timeout there by the drive. And you mentioned you want to see Burrows come all the way over. I think for both sides, the men here, one of the things in mixed doubles that makes it so complex is when you get the guy to go all the way to the right side, now you're forcing that person to at least look down the line.
Yeah.
And so that's where the chess match begins, right? If they're not able to do that, all of a sudden every person on the court is just comfortable going cross court.
And I know a lot of people don't like it. If you go on the forums, people don't like pro mixed doubles. They don't like the guy coming over and taking balls off the girl. But I promise you, having played pro mixed doubles for many years, you want the guy over there. You're seeing all the balls. You feel all the pressure. And the only way to create some kind of dynamic and some kind of opening for the guy is really for him to be moving. If he's not moving, it's too easy to just hit everything to the girl.
Yeah.
It's too easy to just isolate the girl. You gotta have the guy moving.
Oh, I like the first backhand flick by Todd Fott. I think he got a little greedy on the second one.
Agreed. But when you look at the best mixed doubles players in the game, they're all movers. Mm-hmm. And that's because it's easier to create when you're moving.
Everyone pauses to take a look at the train here, even the referee.
We're all like, train.
Yeah. Well, it's my first time seeing a train, too. So that's now a little loud to hear the score, but we're going to commence here.
I like it. Yep. And that was great. That's exactly what Wes needs to do. That was it. Perfect execution.
Playing it to the tee.
Yep.
It's not just taking balls just because you want to. It's forcing your opponents to think. It's creating things off the movement that you mentioned.
Yep. Oh, I think that.
Oh, Fott takes his chances,
too. Do you think it was going out, the first one, or you think it was going to dip in?
I think it would have been a tough choice, but it happened so fast.
Yeah, reaction.
Todd Fott saw what Burrows was doing previously and decides to come over himself.
Yeah.
We're playing full-on mixed doubles here.
It came to play.
Game point and match point for Orlando Squeeze right here. And they do it as Burrows misses the forehand dink there.
Great match, though.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great match overall. I think Orlando squeezed the experience. You talked about them being a solid team.
Yep.
It was just too much and kind of overbearing for Arizona Drive.
Yes, I think so, too. I think experience had a lot to do with that match overall. They're going to be a tough team to beat down the road, the Squeeze. They're solid.
They're solid, and the margins are slim. Mentally, they've been great. Look, it's been a pleasure having mom, wife, coach, GM, comedian in the booth with me here, Lee Waters.
Thanks so much. I finally met you. Everybody's like, oh, he's so nice, he's so great, he's so funny. And I was like, and I haven't met him, and I can't pronounce his last name.
On air, we got to have you say it.
Insect Pong.
Insect Pong.
But now I got to put it together so there's no pause
yeah,
in the
there
middle.
you go. We'll just cut the stream so that way he'll be good.
No, that was a lot of fun.
But it was a pleasure. I'll be seeing you soon. You'll be commentating on Championship Court some, I think maybe today or tomorrow, but we will be back in the booth. So thanks, everyone, for joining us here at MLP Daytona. Look forward to talking with you all soon.
Bye-bye.